We'll begin with the quarterbacks. Ooh, there are a lot of quarterbacks to discuss. Again, many thanks to 24/7 Sports as a resource, and specifically producer Jordan, who is all over the transfer portal and the transfer scene, both for 24/7 Sports and also helping us with this show. So we've got a couple names to debate right here. The one that is going to be a headliner for many is going to be Caleb Williams, who made his move from Oklahoma to USC, linking up with Lincoln Riley. Quinn Ewers goes from Ohio State to Texas. Jackson Dart goes from USC to Ole Miss as Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams show up at USC. And Dylan Gabriel, with Oklahoma now open and Caleb Williams gone, he goes from UCF to Oklahoma after a quick pit stop at UCLA?
Yeah,
Were we there for a second?
Spent some time
Didn't
on
go
the
to class.
beach.
Didn't go to class. That's important. So
That is the Lane Kiffin, Tennessee rule, remember?
on our old on our All-America team, we are only going to have one quarterback. No A11 stuff around here. So we got Caleb Williams, Quinn Ewers, Jackson Dart, Dylan Gabriel. How do you want to attack this? Because we've got varying levels of experience. Obviously, I would say Dylan Gabriel with the biggest body of work. Caleb Williams and Jackson Dart, partial seasons. Williams a little bit more than Dart, as Dart had some injury issues. And Quinn Ewers has not taken a collegiate snap. Who's going to get our nod for the quarterback on the all-transfer team?
So to be clear, we should need to set some guardrails. We're trying to put together the best team for this year, right? Like we're not program building and trying to build towards 2025.
That's a preseason All-America team. We are just projecting what's happening
this best season this year.
Yes.
Then I think it's noteworthy that Ewers is so talented that he makes our nomination list. But to me, he's an easy cut because all three guys who are not him are super talented and they're a little more proven on the college level.
I think too. I totally agree with you. I eliminated two based on experience and playing time. Not eliminated, but like Jackson Dart, I would not recommend because of the lack of experience. But I also think there's if you wanted to take a flyer on one of those guys for a Heisman, if you got odds on them having a breakout, surprise upside season, then I think it's a different discussion. But as far as who do we think is going to have the best year this year, then I think it's a two-man race. And I think it's interesting because I don't know if it's as much of a slam dunk as some people might think between Caleb Williams and Dylan Gabriel.
All right, let's give a little bit more time for all the Oklahoma fans to join us so they can jump in on this Dylan Gabriel, Caleb Williams discussion.
And the South Carolina fans as well. They're probably going to be mad.
Yeah. A couple names from the chat. We got Jaden Daniels at LSU, Spencer Rattler.
That's not a sleeper pick. That one needs to stay sleeping. the Rattler thing I'll entertain as being a nominee.
Would you take Jaden Daniels for just a preseason this year selection? Would you rate Daniels ahead of Dart?
No.
Wow, that was a dramatic no. Okay.
Is anybody else
over Dart?
Yeah.
I would consider it. I wouldn't outright dismiss it. Yeah.
I wouldn't dismiss it either. I think there's enough that you've seen kind of a floor. We don't know the floor of Jackson Dart yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these guys. I agree Ewers is gone. I think that Spencer Rattler, man, I don't know, that South Carolina hype video, I think Spencer Rattler is going to be good now. I think another name out here, if we're just going to go straight numbers, guys who are going to put up stats, you have to include Cameron Ward, who transferred to Washington State, who came from Incarnate Word, who's going to be in an offense where he's going to be throwing 50 to 60 times per game. And I think he's going to put up numbers. So at the end of the year, he may be somebody we look at. But I don't know, man. I got to go with Caleb Williams for this.
I do too. That's narrowly edging out. And I think Caleb Williams is a better player than Dylan Gabriel is. I do love the fit of Dylan Gabriel reuniting with Jeff Levy, who he was obviously really good with at UCF. I think Gabriel's skill set is uniquely suited to play in that Levy offense. But talent-wise, and look, if we're going to factor in the relationship, Caleb Williams knows and likes Lincoln Riley pretty well. So I'm going to go Caleb Williams narrowly over Dylan Gabriel.
I wanted to make the case for Dylan Gabriel, bigger body of work. But I think you also have to look at total surroundings. Oklahoma lost some guys too. They're breaking in some new players as well, where I think Caleb Williams is going to have more talent around him. So I think that's going to be a massive edge. whose schedule, like as far as opponents, is it USC's going to have an easier schedule too?
Not by a lot. Yeah,
Not
I
by a
actually
lot,
have,
but
I have
think a little
Oklahoma
bit, so
winning.
I like factored that in as well.
Is Oklahoma still your conference title favorite?
I don't know.
I think
Yes.
they are.
Yeah. I mean, as long as there isn't a concerted movement by the Big 12 and the referees, I think Oklahoma is your favorite.
So Baylor, Oklahoma State, who played in the championship game, were just with quarterbacks returning, a lot of continuity.
I think Baylor's quarterback returning is a negative.
It's fair.
Like that's they're winning in spite of him.
Man, Bud stays hating bad quarterbacks.
Just
You can
come
win
on.
college football games with bad quarterbacks. Jack
think
Cluck,
If Baylor went and got an average Big 12 quarterback, I'm much I'm considering him a lot more.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma had a quote unquote bad year. I still think they're the most talented and most likely to win that conference.
yeah, I haven't made an official declaration yet. Have you gamed out?
I
on
ask you to
your
consider
number?
Tommy DeVito then, Chip, former
No,
four-star prospect.
I'm not talking about for this. I've done all
okay.
the preparation for this. I'm talking about picking the Big 12 like predicted order of finish yet. So,
So
have
like
you gamed
Okie
it out
State has
already?
Okie State is a very, very easy non-con. So
Doesn't impact winning the Big 12.
right. I think within the Big 12, the timing of this stuff matters as well. I mean, Oklahoma gets Kansas State fairly early in the year. I think Kansas State, may have a little bit of growing pains. They finish at Texas Tech, so that could be tough. I'm still going to go Caleb Williams over Dillon Gabriel, but I think it's close.
Yeah, I think of what another way to put it, like with Oklahoma in the Big 12, is like last year, the last few years, you'd probably say Oklahoma's winning that conference 75% of the time. Like if you just simulate it, I think that's closer to 60 this year.
I'll take that. And I'm with Caleb Williams. High end Caleb Williams, so much fun. And I will 100%. Obviously, as I've said many times before, I'm drunk on the hype train. So let's go.
Also, it's fun to make Oklahoma fans mad.
So mean. All right, Caleb Williams is our all transfer quarterback.